Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating ancient system from Eastern philosophy that basically maps out our inner world. And look, this isn't about fortune telling, not at all. Think of this as a deep psychological framework for understanding who you really are at your core. So let me just ask you this straight up. What's the hidden code that defines your personality? What if I told you there's a map to the 10 core drives that are running the show inside you right now? All right, so let's get right into it. That map, it's called Sipsin. Now, the name translates to 10 gods, but hold on. We're not talking about literal deities here. A much better way to think of them as 10 core psychological roles, or even mindset patterns. These are the inner archetypes that shape pretty much every thought, action, and desire you have. But before we can meet these 10 archetypes, we've got to understand where they come from, what their foundation is, and it all starts with the ancient concept of the 5 elements. You've got wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, all interacting in this constant dynamic dance of creation and control. Think of this system as the engine room for everything. Sipsin, then, is basically the framework that defines the 10 possible relationships between your core self, what's known as your ilgon, and these 5 universal energies. It's really all about how you are designed to interact with the world around you. Okay, you ready? Let's meet the first group of our inner archetypes. We're going to kick things off with the energies that define our core identity, how we put ourselves out there, and what we're trying to achieve. So first up, we have the energy of self, which is known as bijap. This is all about your sense of independence, your ego, and your fundamental drive to either connect with people or stand apart from them. And it shows up in 2 really distinct ways, the colleague and the competitor. You can see how this energy splits into 2 different vibes, right? On one side, you've got Bigyan, the colleague. This is your steadfast, cooperative side. It's grounded and has healthy self-esteem, but, it can also be a little stubborn. Then on the other side, you have Gyopchai, the competitor. This is that ambitious, charismatic, super-driven part of you that's always pushing for more, but it can also be a bit impulsive. So ask yourself, in a team project, are you the reliable collaborator or the one bringing that competitive fire? Okay, so that makes sense, right? Now let's build on that and move to the next pair. This is Siksang, the energy of expression. This is all about how you get your inner world out, your talents, your creativity, your words, your big ideas. And this energy can manifest as either the artist or the revolutionary. And again, you see this amazing contrast in styles. Suksin, the artist, has this gentle, optimistic, almost pleasure-seeking vibe. It finds joy in making things beautiful, in good food, in the arts. But then, bam, you've got Singwan, the revolutionary. This energy is sharp, it's rebellious, it's innovative. It's not happy just improving things. It wants to tear down the old way and build something new. One creates beautifully within the system. The other wants to rebuild the system entirely. So, you have your sense of self, you express it. What comes next? Well, you get results. And that brings us to Jaesong, the archetypes of ambition and achievement. These energies are totally focused on tangible outcomes, managing resources, making money, achieving success. And just like before, we've got 2 totally different approaches to getting those results. First is Jongjae, the manager. This is all about stability, diligence. This is the part of you that's meticulous, responsible, a planner who builds wealth slowly and steadily. Then you have Pyeonjae, the entrepreneur. This energy is all about big opportunities and taking risks. It's the bold, sociable, big-picture thinker who's not afraid to go all in. So when it comes to your goals, which are you? A steady earner or a high-stakes player? All right, quick recap. We've talked about who we are, how we express that, and the results we get. Now, let's get into the energies that provide the structure, the wisdom, and the support for all of that to happen. This is where Gwansing comes in, the energy of discipline. This pair of archetypes is all about our relationship with rules, with authority, and how we handle pressure and big challenges. So let's meet the administrator and the general. You can really see the difference in leadership style here. Jongwan, the administrator, is your principled, honorable, by-the-book leader. This energy upholds logic, maintains order, and follows social norms. But then you have Pyeongwan, the general. This is a totally different kind of leader. This archetype is charismatic, decisive, and tough. It doesn't just manage the rules, it takes command, especially when things get crazy. One provides stability, the other provides direction in a crisis. And that brings us to our final pair. In Song, the energy of resources. Now, we're not talking about money here. This is about your inner resources, the stuff that supports you, like learning, intuition, and just quiet reflection. So let's meet the scholar and the strategist. So think about it. How do you learn? Jung-in, the scholar, is all about traditional knowledge and compassion. This is the academic, patient part of you that learns through established systems and wants to use that knowledge to help people. But then you have Pyongyang, the strategist, which is completely different. This is about deep insight, unconventional wisdom. This energy is intuitive, analytical, and it sees connections that everyone else misses. And you can totally see how this plays out in the real world. The source material puts it perfectly. A strong Sangwan revolutionary shows an innovator's disposition, while a strong Zhongguan administrator shows a manager's. See? The archetypes that are strongest in you directly shape your personality, your natural talents, and even what kind of career is going to make you feel totally alive and in your element. All right, so we've met all 10 players on our inner team, right? But here's the crucial part. They're not just working by themselves. They don't operate in a vacuum. Let's take a look at how they all link up to form a complete dynamic system, your very own personal psychology map. Just look at this. You can see how everything is connected. These archetypes inside you aren't just a random list of traits. They exist in this constant, dynamic flow, supporting and controlling each other in a beautiful, complex dance. So let's follow the energy, okay? It starts with your reason and your knowledge. That informs your core identity. Your identity then powers your expression. That expression, in turn, creates tangible results. And those results sustain your principles and your discipline. Then that discipline circles all the way back to support your reason. It's a complete, self-sustaining psychological circuit that's always running inside you. So the key takeaway here, it is all about balance. You're not just one of these things. Your unique personality, your specific quirks, your greatest strengths, they're all created by the particular mix, the unique cocktail of these 10 energies in your personal chart. That combination is what makes you, you. And this really gets to the heart of why this is so powerful. This isn't about predicting some fixed destiny that you can't change. No way. It's a tool, a really powerful one for profound self-understanding and ultimately for personal growth. So yeah, think of Sipsin as your personal toolkit. It gives you a map for deeper self-awareness, it helps you pinpoint your natural-born strengths, and maybe some of your potential blind spots. It can even give you incredible insights into your relationships and help you find a path for growth that actually feels right for you. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with something to think about. Just based on what we've talked about today, when you look at your own life, your habits, your passions, your gut feelings, which of these 10 inner psychologies do you feel is really your strongest guide? Which one is driving the bus?